saying like Mother Earth has a ear, it's in every language is the same. The sound is vibration. And vibration physically doesn't get lost in the space, okay? And it hits the Mother Earth and vibrates, and if the way you say it, it's gonna go and hit someone, that energy somewhere, okay? And that's gonna bring that person to you, or that rug. Okay, Turkish coffee. I call this rocket fuel. We talk everything in Turkey over a coffee. Why I'm abnormal? As a businessman, no matter when you bought the rug, you can always return it back to me. I will give you full refund. Or I will be responsible what you get from a lifetime. My business is only not one time. Like, if I try to make sure that I like to see people more. It's not only one time thing. It's because I want to learn. You never was going to walk through this door, you know. The amount of people or the people that I met, I always say, like, even I live here as a normal person, 5 lifetime. I couldn't meet none of those people in normal life, but my work introduced these people to me, and the way I love it, that's all. I try to explain to people how much I love this, because right at the beginning, I said, if I hadn't had this, I could have been a grandfather now sitting at home, you know, but this taught me languages. I travel the world because of rugs. I mean, I meet people because of rugs. Here is a great sample. I met this lady like 16 years ago in a bar in Santa Fe because of rugs, because she wanted to hear my story. She was insist, really, like, here we are, she's sitting on my sofa.
Addiction. Like, there's no, I'm like, how would I, and I always fall in love with a new carpet. Every time he comes, or every time I come here, there's always like one carpet that I just want. And at this point, I'm like, I would need another house, you know? There's no carpets that I would want to trade in anymore. And it's been a very big process. And at times he's come back and been like, okay, this carpet is not worth this isn't worth you anymore. Like, you need to get a better carpet than this in this space. He's like, it's embarrassing. So it changed my entire house, my experience of being at home. How many gatherings have been around the carpets, and they just have magic to them, and I feel like they record, you know, I feel like they take in those stories, and just you can feel the presence of them.
This lady asked me, like, how do you find the rugs? I said, not necessarily I find them all the time. Sometimes they find me.
just see his energy across the room. You know, his personality comes out to like in front of him, and his heart, and, you know, just his smile and his laugh. And he was wearing like beautiful textile, you know, a scarf around his neck and his white hair. And I don't know, I was just like, that's an interesting guy. I want to know him.
I become a man, I think, after I buried my mother. I was a boy. It's 2006. I was a still kid when she was alive. It's mama, you know. That's I think that's when, for any man, that part of the world is mama. When you're mama, have a mama, you're a kid. You're grown up. I felt so much. I was not a kid anymore that day. Like, mama was gone. Like every other mother, Angel. Mom got cancer when she was 43 years old. She was a big fighter. She didn't want to give up. She lived 13 years with the cancer. I used to drive mom nuts. Like I cannot sit solid in some place. Like I need to move always. I'm just like I gotta do something. And I move around all the time, and I was driving mama nuts. And my uncle said, I will take him with me, summer jobs. And I start 1979, 1980 with my uncle carpet shop in Cappadocia. We start looking at rugs. I'm telling him, look at this color, look at this design, and this and that. He goes, Hussein, I tell you something. I said, what? I'm colorblind. Okay. It's like, I don't see nothing on the rugs. Okay, I said, I told him the story that with my grandfather, he used to tie my eye. We used to sit by the pile of rugs, and I touched the rugs and try to guess the age of a rug. And I told him this story, and we took his shoes off, and he just bought everything, and he bought the most rugs and most amazing rugs ever. The way he picked just by feeling rugs, it was amazing. Amazing. This man is a collector now. And he comes and tells me now, since this experience, interestingly, he starts seeing patterns on rugs, and he started noticing more. Because the perspective changed. The rug was something necessary at home to use, and now it become a test rather than need at home. As much as people interested in me, I'm interested in them too. Yeah, it should be happening both ways. It's very cool. I still remember when you girls walk in and like there was a pile of rugs that you girls were all like, oh my God, this is heaven. You cannot choose your brother and sister, but you can choose your friends. And what they choose, it's super instinct thing, I guess.
This is one of my best friends. That's the one thing I'll say.
He has unbelievable generosity, you know, which I think comes back to him, you know, I think that's part of why he's so successful, is because he's so generous. Everything, he won't, if you said, how much is this carpet? And you just walked into his store, he'd be like, whoa, hey, you know, like, he needs to know more about how much that carpet is by like who you are and what you want it for and what your story is, you know, like he believes that like the carpet fits with the person. But he's generous with his spirit and his storytelling. You know, I love when he makes Turkish coffee and starts talking and people just kind of gather around him, and you know, everyone's like just wrapped with, you know, interest in what he has to say. But mostly just drinking and eating and making friends and being wild, and just taking the moment, you know, really realizing how precious the moment is and making the most of it.
The Turks call their home in old time called yurt. You know what the yurt is? The tent, okay? Yurt means homeland. Wherever you put your tent, that's your home and should be treated like that. It's like, that's what a yurt means, tent. You know, the tent means homeland. That's home. Wherever you put it, that's your home. We say it in Turkish, fark etmez, but I teach my friends like fark etmez. Like when you say it all together, it means it doesn't matter. Like, fark etmez.